Greetings, traveler.
Airplanes are indeed human players if they are launched by a carrier. So, for example, our carrier over there, that's launched that plane over there, that is, I believe, a human player controlling it. Now, the other plane is a defensive one. It's just circling around and making sure there's no enemy planes coming close. Okay, let's protect that target. So, yeah, if it's a plane that's going to attack something or a plane venturing deep into the enemy territory, it's most likely a human player. Now, there's defensive and spotting planes that carriers and some of the other ships can launch, and those are automated. Those are just NPCs. But yeah, game design wise, I think the complaint that many people have from carriers is that basically there is no risk-reward relationship with carriers, right? They always sit in the back. They have near infinite planes. They can launch them one after the other. So even though you just control one squad at a time, so just a few of your planes at a time, you can keep sending them, because let's say you have I don't know, like 40 planes on board and you're sending out 4 at a time. You can do like 10 of these rounds or more depending on the ship. And when you're sending your planes out, your planes might get shot down, but that doesn't mean anything for the carrier. The carrier can just send some more. And even though there's very little risk, or actually no risk, sending the planes out to detect or to destroy something, the carrier is never at risk themselves. In fact, even if somebody finds the carrier, so whether they shoot the carrier with cannons or torpedoes or whatever, the carriers are surprisingly robust. So you would think that one torpedo or like one salvo from a battleship would be enough to sink them, right? So it seems that they're way more robust than that, and that's not nearly enough to sink them. So I've heard a lot of people complain that carriers are kind of ruining the game because they're detecting destroyers very easily, but they themselves are never at risk of being detected. And even if they're found, they're surprisingly reliable. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do for balancing carriers, right? So again, I can only talk about my experience. I'm not a game designer on wargaming, of course, so I'm saying that to say that I don't have the data those guys have, so I wouldn't be able to make an informed decision. But from what I have experienced playing the game so far, is when you have some player like that, some player that has like high agency, let's say, they can have a very big effect on the outcome of the match. When you have that, you need to also provide a way for the enemies to get at them eventually. So I don't think most people have a problem with carriers using planes to a very effective role. But the issue with the planes is that they're near infinite, basically. They are near impossible to shoot down. So even if a ship has anti-aircraft guns, they're very ineffective against planes, which you might argue is historically accurate. I don't know. I'm not the historian here. So, assuming that the game needs to be balanced with itself, it seems right now that anti-aircraft guns will not protect you against anything. If somebody is sending torpedo bombers or something at you, there's basically nothing you can do, even if you have a good anti-aircraft ship. So one thing to do would be improving the efficiency of anti-aircraft fire against planes, especially for the ships that are supposed to be good in the anti-aircraft role. And the other is how robust the the carriers are, right? So right now the carriers are super robust. In my view, having them being more easily destroyed would kind of alleviate the situation a little bit. From what I've heard, a lot of players who like to spend a lot of money on the game like to spend it on carriers because they feel powerful and they feel very effective on the match. So I've heard that Wargaming doesn't want to change that for their crowd, and it's unlikely that the balance around carriers is going to change anytime soon. So yeah, to summarize it, in my view, to balance carriers a little bit better in World of Warships, the anti-aircraft defense against the planes should be made a little bit better to make sure that players have a fighting chance against planes, and carriers should at least be a bit more fragile than they are right now, to make sure that, you know, yes, they're super powerful, but if there's nobody there to cover them, then they should be pretty exposed. They should be pretty easy to take down. Right now they're way too robust for how fragile they're supposed to be. So yeah, these 2 points in my view.